Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's BIO2REG webinar. My name is Valentina Galadauri, and I join you today from BIO East Hub of Czech Republic. Together with me, it's George Sakelaris, our hub coordinator, my colleague Artemis and Sofia, and we're very happy to have you here with us today. Today, we'll be focusing on a very important and timely topic, the role of forestry and the forest-based industries in supporting regional bioeconomy transition across Europe. As you know, forestry plays a key role in the bioeconomy, and not only as a source of biomass, but also as a driver of innovation, regional development, and sustainable value chains. And at the same time, the sector is facing some important challenges from competing issues of biomass to the need for better coordination, governance, and investment. And this is exactly where our project BIO2REG comes in. The BIO2REG project is a Horizon Europe project that supports regions across Europe in designing and implementing their own bioeconomy transitions pathways. And it follows a region-to-region approach, promoting knowledge exchange, sharing best practices, and providing practical tools and trainings. Through today's webinar, we aim to bring together perspectives from research, industry, and policy to share exchanges, discuss challenges, and explore opportunities for collaboration. And before we move to our speakers, just a few quick housekeeping points. We would like to keep our microphones muted in order to avoid background noises. And please feel free to use the chat box in order to share with us questions or comments. And the session, as already informed you, is recorded and will be shared with you afterwards if you want to revisit or to share with your colleagues. So let's move to our speakers. I would like to invite Mr. Gorga Altuna Fernandez from HASI, from the Basque Country, who will share with us insights from technology-driven good practices and the forest bio-based economy. Let me start the presentation. Here we are. Gorga, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Valentina. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Valentina, and thank you, BIO East Hub, for having us in this interesting webinar. I'm sorry for the technical issues I suffered before. Well, today I'm here to talk about our pathway in the Basque Country to foster or to boost the bioeconomy ecosystem, forest-based bioeconomy ecosystem. Next slide, please. Well, we are in the north central Spain, as you see in the picture. We are a very little region, and this is important because when we are talking about bioeconomy, the size is important in related to raw materials and related also to the companies and to the economy you have in your region. Next slide, please. Some figures about Basque Country. We are 2.2 million people, high density people region, and we are highly industrialized. So we are about 6% of the GDP of Spain. Our main economy sectors are services and industrial sector, that both make the 94% of the GDP. And this is important. In industrial sector, we we have automotive, energy, and steel and metalworking, big companies that works all around the world. And this is important because forest-based bioeconomy should give these manufacturers solutions to move to a more sustainable economy. Other key sectors, construction and primary sector, and we are in that primary sector as forest and timber sector. Figures from our sector, the total surface you have seen in the slide before was more than 700,000 hectares. 68% of that surface is forest surface, but covered by trees, it is the 55%, almost 400,000 hectares. Our yearly growth of all the forest is 3.4 million cubic meters. And some detail going to our sector is the 1.5 of the GDP of the Basque Country. Direct and indirect employees are 18,000, sorry. We are harvesting around 2 million cubic meters per year. That it comes from 4,000, 5,000 hectares per year. And we have very good growth of our trees. Conifers grow between 12 and 22 cubic meters hectare and year. Broadleaves grow around 5 cubic meters hectare and year. And that's important because if we need raw materials and if we need wood and wood-based product, we need species that can grow with this rate like conifers. Next slide, please. Well, ASTI Foundation is a tool of the Basque government. We are 100% public funded, and we and me come from the forest department of ASTI Foundation. We work mainly in the knowledge of the forest. We spent 40 years developing technologies and forest inventory knowledge. So we know very well what we have in our region, what kind of tree, what species, and how much they grow, and how many and what type of wood we have in our forest. We also work in the forest certification, PFC and FSC, also in carbon footprint certifications, and giving support to many companies of the value chain in EUDR and other schemes. And we are also trying or helping to boost the bioeconomy from entrepreneurship point of view, and also driving the public funding until the users of the companies of the forest and timber sector. This is important because one of the key points we have found in our pathway is that it's very important to be close to the practitioners, be close to the companies, to the forest managers, to the harvesters, and also be close to the researchers and technological centers, because there is the knowledge, and there are the seeds that will become in something industrialized. And if you miss all this information, and if you are not close to these people on the ground, you are missing the very important information that helped you to develop the forest-based bioeconomy. Next slide, please. Well, in very fast. The Basque government launched the bioeconomy strategy in 2019, and it was a good roadmap, but it came from an up-down approach that I will comment afterwards that it is not the best approach from my point of view. But well, we have this strategy that drives all the public and policies, public action and policies of the government. Next slide, please. And the next one, because this is about the strategy, and you all know very well how is a bioeconomy strategy. This is important because in NACI Foundation we evaluated the open call of bioeconomy innovation since 2021 to 2024. It has an important budget, and we have been improving the definition of bioeconomy to get the more projects that are forest-based and related to bioeconomy, and not so much to the circular economy. But always they are linked, these two concepts, but we prefer to put more emphasis on the bioeconomy concept. We were in charge of the evaluation, and we get very important information of the people and the projects that were ongoing in that moment. So this information were used to implement the next phase that was implemented in the Encarterri priority area that I'm gonna mention next. The next slide, please. These are some graphs about these calls. The balance between bioeconomy definition and the delivery total funding was important, and as you see, the number of projects went decreasing, but this is related to this emphasis on the bioeconomy concept. Next slide, please. Well, in the framework of the bioeconomy strategy of the government, they decided to implement the bioeconomy in a concrete sub-region called Encarterri, because Encarterri is a forest-covered sub-region. It has 58% of the surface covered by trees. They have a tradition as a manufacturer of wooden furniture, and also tradition as a pulp and paper manufacturer. So they decided to boost the bioeconomy as a driver of social and economy well-being for the sub-region, and they decided to create or to construct or to build a building as a hub for interconnection of all the actors of the ecosystem. Next slide, please. Well, the Encarterri sub-region project was based in this building for public and private cooperation, and also in two other steps. That one was the open call of ideas and projects of innovation in bioeconomy, and the other one was the improvement of a professional training center located in that region. All the information gathered in the open call of innovation in bioeconomy of the government, we bring it together to this call led by ASI Foundation, but we try to make the next step in technology readiness because we bring these seeds of the projects in the first step, and we give them in this Encarterry call. We give them some advice, mentoring, and facilities and installations to scale up their projects to higher TRLs. Next slide, please. As you can see here, 19 proposals were presented and 7 were funded. Different TRLs, but the main point here is that we get 3 projects in TRL 6 to 9 that are currently running in the region, and we implemented more than 1 million euros for this project. The 3 projects that are in high TRLs got 800,000 euros of funding, but also mentoring and favorable conditions in their facilities in the region. Next slide, please. Well, these are figures about the facilities we give them with a favorable to install in this sub-region. Next slide, please. And these are the 3 projects that are currently running that are very close to industrialization phase. This is a reactor with a patented technology of the Basque University of the chemical department, and with this technology they can process different raw materials, but they are mainly focused now in the forest-based or forest raw materials to develop and coating, well, glues, coating products, and biochar and other products. Next, please. Using this reactor that I mentioned, Plastic is a circular economy focused company, and they use the residues of the pulp and paper factories to process them and to get different byproducts that they are using to mix with some plastics to create some biocomposites that could be 50% in biochar or in forest-based products, and the other one, the 70% in plastics from fossil raw materials. Next, please. And the third one, in high TRLs, is a company that have developed a modular plan for nanocellulose manufacturing. They are working with virgin fiber, but they are also thinking in using recycled fiber from the pulp and paper companies to produce this high potential product that is the nanocellulose. Next, please. Sorry. Well, in all this pathway, we have learned some lessons. Well, the pathway began with a creation of an alliance that didn't work very well because, well, it was a picture with the politicians and some companies, but empty of content. So it doesn't go any further. They think it. I will resume and this slide. They think in some sectors that they were not developed in the Basque Country. So well, you may want to develop textile in your region, but you don't have any of the steps behind in the value chain. So the success is not possible. They try to bring external capital, and they didn't think about what we have in our region. That is also linked with this BIO2REG project regionalization concept. You have to see what you have in your region to be efficient in the efforts of helping what can bring you the success. And these steps led us to mistrust of the current politicians that are a new government, new people, and they are not trusting in the bioeconomy concept because the previous government didn't make the steps forward as they think. So the next steps for us, next slide, please, will be find competitiveness opportunities, could be legal frameworks for big companies' green commitment to drive all the development of the bioeconomy in the step before of the value chain. This point of gather the daily information that we made in our pathway is important, and I think we have to move not only from the forest-based sector, we have to move to other sectors like automotive or steel, metal, and other sectors that should or must do the shift to a more sustainable production. Also engage companies in the hub in this building of Encarterri, and finally we think it is very important. Think very big. Every step forward is a good step, and we have to know very well what parts of the value chain are developed in your region, and maybe find not the final product, but some products that could fit in the value chain and make the process more sustainable. And I think that's it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Gorga. If I can clap also. Okay, thank you very, very much. I would like to invite Matthias Dortz from RISE Research Institute of Sweden, who will present on industrial innovation and market update. Matthias, I think you will share your own presentation.
No, I think if you can share it would be great.
Yes, of course.
So if it's possible.
Yes, it is possible. I think, let me. Great, Matthias,
great.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and I hope everyone can hear me. Yeah, and thank you for the possibility to present our activity at RISE Research Institute of Sweden. So we are based in Sweden, and I will give some perspective on how we are working within this area. So I will first mention some of the, I don't think you can go back, I think, to start there. Yeah. So I will give some opportunities and challenges that we see within our daily work at RISE. And I will also mention some of the innovation pathways that we are trying to assist, both when it comes to test beds, pilots, and also as an innovation partner, and also, for example, how to use the biomass in the best way, also when it comes to cross sector collaboration, and also help out with sustainable leadership and so on. I will also mention some of the testbed that we have in-house at RISE, Research Institute of Sweden. And then I will also go through some of the big industrial projects that are ongoing to introduce some of the new bioeconomy investments that are on the way in Sweden and are under planning, and some are already ongoing and existing. And then I will end up with a sum up of all this. So I think we can change picture here to go to the second one. So yeah, if we then look at the opportunities, and I guess you're also familiar with all this, but of course, one of the opportunities to introduce bioeconomy solution is, of course, use the forest as a carbon sink, as the forest absorb carbon when it's growing and not releasing anything to the atmosphere. That's the first thing. And the second one is, of course, also substitution. If you can put your carbon atoms into bioeconomy, bioproducts instead of fossil-based products, then you also win or can reduce the amount of carbon atoms that they're using for fossil-based products. That's the first thing, of course. Resilience is also another thing to secure the delivery in Europe, both when it comes to wood for buildings, products for packaging, hygiene, and other products, of course. Textile is another example. Biodiversity is another thing. I would say that if you have a well-managed forest, you can also improve the biodiversity and increase the number of species. I think we have example from that in Sweden. Circularity, of course. If you have a paper cup that you can recycle once and again, then you, of course, also reduce the carbon footprint in a good way. And last thing also to mention is the well-being or wellness of the forest, but also the ability to reduce the carbon footprint when you're building in wood instead of other construction materials, for example. So these are well known, but of course these are the things that we are aiming for also within our work. So I think we can change the picture there again and go to the challenges. And one thing, of course, is that we also see is how to use the land in a proper way, and that independent on where you are in Europe, I guess if you should use it for food production, or if you should use it for producing energy, or if you should use it for products like wood buildings or packaging and so on. Other challenges can be, of course, infrastructure and technology. Most of the existing infrastructure are probably aimed for fossil-based products and so on. So that could be a challenge in itself. Economy could also be, if you want to introduce a new value chain, I mean, it could be very energy intensive, so it might cost a lot of money to introduce. So that is another thing. It can also be environmental impact. I mean, you need to be careful when doing your LCA, and in order to see that it is really an improvement in the environmental when we're introducing this new bio-based product. Skill and workforce, of course, It's especially, for example, if you want to look into new value chain, I think it's important to have high research excellence in other areas as well. I mean, a lot of the initiative now is towards the chemistry industry, and you need to have skilled personnel in that area as well, and also in the textile area, for example. And of course, also cross-section collaboration, and I mean that is both in the industry but also in the wide society, to have all stakeholders involved as early as possible in the transition to your new value chain business model, or so to speak. So these are some of the challenges. I think we can change them to next picture, please. So we at RISE, here you see a map of Sweden, and as you can see here, you have some of the bioeconomy clusters and energy clusters that we have in Sweden, and they are concentrated in some areas. We have one of the largest areas is in Värmland County, Paper Province in the western part, and then we have bioenergy clusters towards the east coast in the northern part of Sweden. As you can see here on the map, we also have clusters towards textile, pharmaceutical, and also agriculture spread all over Sweden. And RISE is also situated in the whole part of Sweden too. So, and I guess one common thing for all these clusters is to supply with test beds and pilots, and also act as an innovation partner for the transition in some way or another. Also be a partner in how to use the biomass in this best strategic way, and also try to look into cross-section innovation in order to introduce the biomaterial in new value chains and so on. And also, I think one thing is of course also try to support when it comes to sustainable leadership, and how to act there with biodiversity and all these things. So I think we can switch to the next picture. Just to mention RISE, some of the test bed. We did a large investment here a couple of years ago with new test and demo pilots, and most of it is based in Örnsköldsvik, northern part of Sweden. But we are continuously doing and investing in our test beds all over in the bioeconomy area. So please, if you have any question regarding this, please contact me so we can have further discussion, or I can forward you to the right person to speak within RISE. We can change again. This is also one bioeconomy hub that we have within RISE. We call it Ligno City. So this is a cooperation between RISE and the municipality, Kristinehamn, and we also quite close to a pulp mill, Nordic Pulp. So here is one of our latest investment, where we have just recently invested in a process to try to manufacture odor-free lignin, and which is one of the big problems with lignin, that you have a smell of it when you are using it, producing it. And then if we then switch again, I will now go through some of the bigger investments that are ongoing and are planned. So this is the first one here, biorefinery Östrand. This is a cooperation between the wood and pulp company SCA and ST1, and they're aiming to produce biofuel from biomass, just over 200,000 ton, I think it is approximately, and that is of course a very good initiative to also for resiliency for the European Union, try to avoid to import fossil-based biofuel and have an option also to produce it biofuel within the European Union. So this is ongoing in the planning phase. We can change again. Another example of this is one company, Södra, which is planning to start up the largest producer of kraft lignin, and kraft lignin could then be used to replace fossil-based materials, as you see here, and there are different kind of application that you can think of, replacing glue batteries, composites, and biofuel, as it says here. So this is also ongoing, and hopefully this will start in the next coming years here, as another example. So I think we can switch again. Also to mention the wood industry in Sweden, or the heavy traffic, I think the wood industry stands for around 20% of all the with diesel trucks, and one attempt is to introduce electrical trucks, and there are products here, and you see an example where the aim is to try to replace some of the diesel trucks in order to reduce the carbon footprint of all transport that goes from the forests into the pulp mills and so on. I think we can change again. The last example is also reflecting to the use of or building in wood. There is one construction company that are trying to or will build a larger scale urban development in Stockholm to become world largest wood-built urban district, and this is ongoing in the capital of Sweden, Stockholm. And there's also one building that was already built in town of Skellefteå, and one of the tallest tree buildings or timber buildings in the world. I think it's around some around 80 meters or something like that. So there are also commercial bio-based installation that are planned and has also been achieved within the country of Sweden. So I think we can change again. I think I have the last slide here just to sum up this a little bit. What we can see here that, just to summarize it, that there are some opportunities and challenges, of course, and we're working, but I think one thing that is important and that also I think this BIO2REG project is a very good example on how to try to connect with other bioeconomy regions and try to share knowledge and so on, and especially when it comes to other disciplines that we are not so well known about when it comes to the chemistry and textile and so on. So thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to discuss this further on later after this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthias, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Prevas Vitka from the Czech University of Life Science in Prague, who will speak about the role of coppice forest in supporting regional woodworking and construction. Preva, the floor is yours. Let me start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Valentina. Can I have pleasure for my presentation? Okay, thank you very much for invitation, and it's a big honor for me to be here at this meeting. I am Přemysl Sedivka from the Czech University of Life Sciences Prague, from the Faculty of Forestry, and I would like here to present our project that is especially focused how to use the wood from the copies forests as a potential innovation for regional woodworking, but also as a potential innovation for construction industry. Can I have pleasure for the next slide? At the moment, for your imagination, Czech Republic, the afforestation in the Czech Republic is about for 33%, and we have lots of enterprises that are producing the wood-based construction, and the Czech Republic is allocated at the Central Europe, so lots of production, the big value of the wood-based buildings and construction, we are exporting to Germany, to Austria, Switzerland, and at another countries. And during the global climate changes, we have big problems because by us at our forests, the main species are the spruce monocultures, and during the lack of rainfalls and higher temperatures, we know that we will not have enough the spruce wood at the following 10 years, and we are looking for the new potentials how to process it, perhaps the hardwood, because we know that the value of the hardwood will increasing. What is the biggest problem that at the moment we really don't know how to process the hardwood in big value into the final products for acceptable costs, and we also don't know what kind of technologies use it for processing of this type of deciduous species. Please, the next slide. The characterization of the hardwood. By us, we have big problems by the processing of the hardwood at the moment, because the most value of the hardwood is processed by the furniture makers. And if we would like to use this type of the wood species for construction usage, for building industry, we know that there is the big or large number of the deciduous tree species. Generally at the Europe, there is no single European hardwood market commodity or commodity market, and during that the prices of the hardwood increasing and decreasing a lot, so the enterprises cannot plan effective the productions at the following few months. The hardwood has usually a bigger amount of the fails, so it has lower quality to comparison to spruce, and we are not able to exceed the high yield to comparison to coniferous tree species. So at the moment we are focusing on how to currently industrial processing the hardwood for construction application, and to be economical, sustainable, and we need to develop the new types of the products and new types of the technological processes to reduce perhaps the cost, the processing or production costs. Please, next slide. What is generally the copies forests? There is an overview of three main types of the forests. I mean, especially deciduous forests. In the picture one, there is a classical tall deciduous forest, generative forest. The trees we can or are usually cut it after the 1 or 120 years. The second type of the deciduous forests are copies forests. And these copies forests, we can imagine that the first generation of the trees, like the oak, is growing, and after the 80 or 120 years is cutted. After this cutted, we get the stamp, so it is the lowest part that is stay at the soil, and from this stamp just start to grow, very fast grow the trunks, the new trunks. These trunks are after that cut it, and we let grow only 1 or 2 biggest trunks, and these trunks are growing up to 40 years, and we get the good dimension to cut it. So it's mean by these copies forests, by the second generation forest, we get already after the 40 years the wood with a high level of quality and with a good cost for production. And the third one is low deciduous forests. It's mean the plantation types of the forest. There we can also to cut the forest after the 20 or 40 years, but there is a problem that there is quite low biodiversity, and it is not so much acceptable for foresters to producing the forest with this type of the planting. Please, the next slide. The specification of the specially copies forests at the Czech Republic, there is for about 5% of total area of these type of copies forest. It is quite similar in Germany, in Italy, and in Poland as well. And nobody know what to do with these hardwood from these copies forests, because especially by us at the Czech Republic, these forests are already older than 100 years, and the most value of these forests or the wood from these forests is used only for energy production, so it's mean for a fire, and nobody know what to do with this type of the wood. The three species, it's oak, black locust, hornbeam, elm, and others. We are talking about perhaps about the second or third generation stands or trunks that can be usable for structure usage. So advantage is that during the 40 years we get the quite big value of the hardwood with high level of quality, but otherwise there are also the disadvantages, because if the trees are growing too fast, there is a part of the wood rings, because at 10 or 15 first year, the rings or generally there is a part of juvenile wood, and it has quite lower mechanical properties to comparison to normally generative stands or woods from normally forests. Otherwise, we know that these coniferous forests will or the production of these coniferous forest trees will still increase to comparison to deciduous trees. So we are looking for potential how to process these types of the hardwoods. Please, next slide. How we can imagine the trunks or stands from the copies trees from the hardwood. It looks like in this picture, that are the trunks that are for about 4 meters long, quite high level of quality, and they are quite strange. So it is the advantage that it can be used at until usable technologies that are used for woodworking of spruce wood or for any other types deciduous species. without any additional cost for new types of technologies. Please, next slide. There is an overview of small enterprises that we have been in a contact in solution of these types of projects. It is typical small sized enterprises, typical Czech family enterprises, that is woodworking, perhaps the spruce wood for packaging and for structure usage for building industry. And they have the aggregate technology that they can woodworking the stands from the spruce wood, and we were absolutely acceptable, or it is absolutely possible to woodworking the hardwood stands from coppice forests with the dimensions with the diameter from 30 up to 40 centimeters without any additional costs. The production is quite effective and very, very fast. Please, the next stand. How does it look like with the quality? Because if we want to use the hardwood for structure usage for building industry, the quality is really hard important. In this picture, we can see how does look like the differences because between the generative wood and the coppice wood. We were cutted the trunks from the middle size of the trunks. We have made the wood prisms, and by these wood from the prisms, we were tested the basic quality characterization or mechanical characterization, like the wood density, bending strength, and modulus of elasticity. The results are here in these three pictures on the right side, and there is a mention that these three properties or mechanical properties are a little bit lower to comparison of the coppice wood to comparison to normally generative wood, but other sides these differences are only in the frame of statistical error. So we can to say that the juvenile wood of the hardwood from coppice wood has practical no negative reasons on quality of the hardwood or of the wood for structure usage. Please, next slide. This idea is not something new. There is only historical overview. The Cathedral Notre Dame de Paris was the roof, especially roof, was built from the oak wood from coppice forests already 800 years ago. Historically, it was so that at France there were big or large areas of the coppice forests, and it was so that from one trunks or one stands, they were able to produce only one beam. At the moment or nowadays, it is so that we have new technologies, especially for gluing of the hardwood, and we can to define the quality for structure usage. So at the moment, we are able to exceed not so big dimension of the hardwood from the coppice forest to produce the of the beams with the high dimensions or big dimensions and with a high level of quality. Please, next slide. Only for an overview, what the company testing from the coppice hardwood. Here in the middle, there are some, or there is an overview of the final products for timber building industry, and we are able to produce the glue laminated timber, LVL beams, wood panels, LVL panels, CLT panels, and KVH granules for productions and it can be also used not only for family houses, but also for tall timber building as well. Please, next slide. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for your potential questions.
Thank you very much, Preva. And finally, we're pleased to welcome Radislav Rasi from the Biosystematic Working Group of Forestry Value Chain, who will share insight on strengthening forest value chain across regions. Radislav, let me share your presentation. And
yeah, good morning. Thanks.
The floor is yours.
Thanks. So, okay, we see it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, good morning. Yeah. So regarding strengthening forestry value chains across regions, so I prepared a very brief presentation which says a bit about information on the bioeconomy, so resources of information, and then concentrating on a bit on SWOT analysis, so what is related to the region of Central and Eastern Europe, so where are positive aspects and where we are lagging, and then providing some recommendations how to further develop this sector in this region. So we can proceed with slides. Yeah, so recently there was published a new data set from Europe Joint Research Center, which is the part of European Commission. So this Joint Research Center monitors and follows the development of the bioeconomy in EU. So is publishing quite a lot of data on and information on the sector and the development of bioeconomy. Operates EU bioeconomy monitoring system and assesses bioeconomy supply chains. So there is a link to new work which was recently published, but on the website of JRC you can find much more information available there. But in this recent document, it is highlighted that bio-based plastics, textiles, construction materials, and fertilizers are considered to be lead bioeconomy markets, which are considered also bringing environmental, social, and economic benefits. That's important that it is seen also by EU facilities helping development of the society across all fields, so economic, social, and environmental, and is in general supported to further develop. And in the scale up relies on lead technologies, including integrated biorefineries. What is important to further develop downstream technologies, advanced fermentation, and biogenic carbon capture and storage. What is still not much developed in the Europe, but has strong potential to further develop. As the closing loop of biomass is normally used for energy, and CO2 is released to the atmosphere. So next slide. So in the material which was recently published, there are a few figures on the bioeconomy. It indicates that there is quite a lot of people employed. It was presented also in Basque region that it is a strong sector. So in the bioeconomy being employed around 17 million people, of those around 2.5 million in forestry, and contributing 5% to GDP, forestry about 1% in Europe. And according to the policies of European Union, there are identified some challenges, and these challenges are related mainly to environmental aspects, related to use of biomass, and these are reflected in decline of carbon sink of the LULUCF sector, including land use change, and forestry, and deterioration of land-based habitats and species diversity. So these are challenges considered in the connection with the use of bioeconomy and including forestry bioeconomy, and as an implication from this, there is indication that the strengthening of bioeconomy requires shift from predominantly extensive logistics to regenerative management, and a higher allocation of limited biological resources across competing uses, and cascading principles, implementation of cascading principles, and improvement in recovery of biomass, and more effective use of side streams or secondary streams. There is quite strong potential, specifically in forestry sector, connecting to construction. So as we mentioned in earlier presentations, also when using more timber, or also agricultural products like hemp, there is strong potential to improve reduction of embodied carbon, in, for example, in buildings by around 40%. Next slide, please. So when we look at the figures related to biomass, we can clearly see that there is a very strong position of forestry, specifically having position in bioenergy and bio-based, while production from agriculture is mainly used for food and feed. And when we look at the shares of recycling, we can also see that the major share of recycling or use of secondary wood, secondary byproducts, and tertiary biomass, the position of forestry sector is quite leading, and altogether is representing almost the same amount of biomass as is primarily produced in agriculture. So next slide, please. So when we summarize these aspects, so we can say that forestry value chains contribute to climate mitigation, rural development, and industrial competitiveness, so providing the local resources and the possibility for local processing, and also having these aspects of storing carbon, and also cooling effects when in production phase of the biomass. And considering also that forests are in Europe around 35% of total land area. So there is trend to focus on sustainable management, considering also aspects of environmental and social aspects of forests. And if managed sustainably, the forest can play a role in climate mitigation, also biodiversity conservation, and transition to renewable fossil-free materials and energy resources. We should also keep in mind that even when there are trends to increase protected areas and increase areas dedicated to management of biodiversity, almost 80% of growing stock in European forests is available for wood supply. So they are productive forest, and there is availability to extract timber from there. When we consider the share or the intensity of the use of increments, so the annual fellings are about 81% of the net annual increment. So not all wood which is produced in the area is also used for any industrial production or energy production. So next slide, please. When we come to Central and Eastern European region, so we can say that in this region the share of forest area is similar like in the Europe, and forest resources are quite substantial, but the biomass potential is untapped, so it's not used in the full efficiency, thanks to many aspects, but one of these are structural inefficiencies, fragmented ownership, and limited innovation capacity. So to unlock the full potential of forest-based value chains, it is essential to strengthen coordination in the sector and improve innovation systems and align policies across regions, and also align policies cross-sectorally. That's also important, because there is quite high variability in different policy interests. And it is pointed out that intersectoral coordination and integrating forest objectives into broader development goals remains challenging in the region. So next slide, please. So characterizing the forestry value chain, there is primary production, so it's mainly forest management, harvesting, then processing, manufacturing, and end-use sectors. So which are bringing the highest added value. So starting from processing, manufacturing, and final production. But then there is also recycling, which should be included in the value chain to improve the availability. First, to improve availability of biomass in value chains, and also to reduce waste production. In the Central and Eastern Europe, the primary sector has the highest relative weight, and then there is processing, manufacturing, and end sectors are lagging, which results in export of semi-processed wood as common, and downstream industries are less developed and fragmented. The next slide, please. So when we come to strengths, the resources are quite abundant, and the growing bioeconomy is supported in general by policies. Labor price is quite competitive, and the trend is in growing productivity. Considering weaknesses, so the ownership is fragmented, leading also to limited clustering and building of networks within the sector. The value addition is quite limited, and what is really important is lagging or insufficient infrastructure and gaps in logistics. So next slide, please. Regarding opportunities in the region, so circular economy is on the track of development, and there is support from EU, which is also reflected in supporting projects for improvement of digital transformation. And regarding situation with the energy market, there is also demand for bioenergy. And remaining challenges, it's related to sustainability constraints. So there is also a quite strong lobby for nature protection on the account of production. And quite strong is climate change impact when trees are under pressure, forests are under pressure, as it was mentioned in previous presentation in Czech Republic. So mainly monocultures or decidual species are under pressure of longer drought periods. And there are also challenges related to global competition and policy fragmentation, as mentioned also before. Next slide, please. When we consider the role of small and medium enterprises in forestry sector, so these are mainly involved in logging and provision of forest management services, then in sawmilling and local processing and manufacturing, so rather smaller businesses, but supporting rural development because they are located mainly in the areas where the wood is produced. And limitations to grow of this component is mainly in the limited access to financing, innovation capacity, and integration into global or value chains as such. Next slide, please. When we should recommend how the situation would improve, so we should mention that cross-regional cooperation has quite strong potential in reduction of disparities between regions and in transfer of knowledge and integration in larger regional or global markets, and support of cascade use principle supports aligning biomass supply with industrial demand and implementation of data-driven planning is important for optimization of use of existing biomass, prioritize high added value and long life products like in construction, specifically construction and furniture. Support valuation of side streams and recycling, which is already quite developed, but normally is in short cycles and used mainly for energy production, and to support energy production only to close the loop when the possibility to use the biomass for higher added value products is limited or economically not viable. So next slide, please. I think it's the same. Yeah. Okay. So to summarize, to improve performance, we need to do upgrading of value chains, connected fragmented actors, innovate technology, optimize biomass employment, and integrate cooperation. And when we compare Western or Nordic part of the region, European region, and Central and Eastern Europe, so we can see that there is structural differences in any component of the value chain. So it's in forest management, where in Central Europe this is quite fragmented, thanks to the ownership fragmentation and unsettled rights to the management. In the value chain, integration is quite low to medium, and quite limited the innovation level, and the production is rather oriented to lower added value products. So that's briefly, and there are a few examples on the next slide for inspiration. So best practices models in Austria, so where the food processing industry is well developed, and there are existing regional clusters linking primary production and research and industry, so processing sector. And the level of mechanization and efficiency is high. And in downstream sectors, there is significant value added. In Finland, there is strong policy support for the forest-based bioeconomy, resulting in national strategy, clearly supporting this sector. Strong focus on pulp, paper, and engineered wood products, global leadership in bio-based innovation, and high value added contribution within the EU forestry sector. So this is also reflected in the leadership of forestry partnership within the Horizon Europe program, which is coordinated by Finnish Ministry of Agriculture. And as an inspiration, I mentioned here best practice business models like Stora Enso, which is innovation driven. Kronospan using side streams for production of boards for furniture, so, oriented to circular use, and IKEA, which is demand driven and pushing also the primary producers to produce raw material according certification schemes and so on. So driving all the value chain across their value. So that's briefly my presentation. Thanks a lot for attention.
Thank you very much, Rastislav. We have around 10 minutes left for the discussion part. And also now it's time to open our cameras, if we are okay, for the group photo. I will move directly to the part that our participants share with us some questions during the registration process. So I will go directly there because we run out of time. And I can read out aloud the questions. Maybe Gorga or Radislav support us here. How can side stream be better utilized to create value in circular bioeconomy systems? And also, of course, all of you are welcome to add. Please be free, open the microphones and. But if I should invite someone, I would invite Gorga first.
Well, thank you, Valentina, for the question. Well, very brief because we are in a hurry. Well, side streams in the Basque Country, the byproducts of the companies, sawmills and second processing companies, they have already markets. They are the sawdust, the chips, and the other posts already are sold between 45 and 70 euros per ton without drying. So we have to think in giving them some added value. Otherwise, the easiest market they currently have will be the same. So we have to use them with new technologies, new processing, and find new markets for them where the value will be higher, so we can pay more for this side stream or byproducts of the sawmills and pulp and paper manufacturers.
Thank you very much, Gorga. And George, now I can see your hand. I don't know if Radislav would like to add something, but I can see your hand, but I can't hear you. Radislav, would you like to add something to this question, or?
Yeah, I can just confirm that it's exactly as it was said, that the side streams or the co-products from processing are already having their use in value chains. As I mentioned, there is, for example, Kronospan, which is producing boards for furniture from these side streams, and they are commercialized already. And it's also registered in statistics on the use of byproducts, as I mentioned earlier in presentation. And to further develop this sector or effectiveness of use, it depends on innovation of new products and competition in then in price for these side products or side streams. Thanks.
Unfortunately, I can't see all the hands raised because I'm sharing my screen. I will stop sharing my screen so I can see also the comments in the chat, because I got informed that there are some questions there. Alvaro, please, you can raise your hand. Yes, open your microphone and yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for this webinar. And I have a question and a comment for Rastislav Rasi, because I like very much the values that he gave of the supply and the demand of biomass in Europe in 2022. It's clear that forest is a relevant part of that supply, but I wonder if there are estimates for 2030 or 2040. Where could the additional biomass come from? It might be from recycling, perhaps a little bit from agriculture, but I think that most of the part of the additional biomass would come from forest. That's where, in my idea, and I would like to know his point of view, and if there exists, if he knows of those estimates. Thank you.
Yes, regarding resources for the future, so it was mentioned also in that presentation from Przemysl. It is important to consider that there is change in tree species in our forest, which is due to climate change aspects, and there is becoming more and more of broadleaf species. And the gap for the demand for specifically for coniferous, which are mainly used for construction and in industrial use will be even higher, and I assume personally that we will develop also technical tools and design for better recycling of construction wood, so to improve availability of this type of wood for the market and the value chains. And we are still a bit struggling how to effectively use broadleaves like beech, for example, or other species. So for oak, it's not that urgent, because oak is quite well used in furniture industry. But for other broadleaves like beech, it's a challenge how to effectively use it in those streams which we have already developed. So there are two aspects. So one aspect is that we will need to develop recycling better, and another we will need to change value chains based on the structure of wood supply on the market in this region.
I see also Ignacio raise his hand. Ignacio,
Yes, thank you. This is Ignacio from the European Forest Institute, and also coordinator of this bioregions facility, where we look at the regional dimension of a forest bioeconomy. My question was to, as I wrote in the chat, to Matthias and Gorka, when we look at the development of bioeconomy in many regions, we tend to think always that wood construction is like is the low-hanging fruit, and is let's say, the value chain can provide a stronger environmental impact and a stronger value creation. And we see other chimie du bois, other wood chemistry, or other platform molecules, or other, let's say, green chemistry developments as very much trapped into the commodity markets, where price is just too much of a barrier, where you need economic of scale, which require high investments, with more technological risk. So my question, very fast, because we're running out of time, is: do you agree with this view that wood timber construction is probably the most promising venue to develop forest bioeconomy at regional level, in general terms?
Matthias, please go ahead.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I think that need to be looked in from cases to cases, and it's depending, I guess, where you are and so on. So I don't know if I can give a straight answer directly that something is better than the other, but I'm happy to discuss this. I see we're running out of time here, but maybe we can have a discussion afterwards regarding this. And I also want to thank the other presenters. It was really interesting to hear. And it seemed that there are lots of common things there that we have in common.
Yeah, thank you for that. I know. I look at the word, it's too late, the question, but in any case, fantastic presentation, by the way.
George, I don't know if you would like to say something before we close the webinar.
Yes, I had a question. Sorry, my microphone and computer didn't work, so I had to connect through my telephone, and that's why I have the camera off. So the question is based in a statement made by Radzislav, but it is addressed to everybody who feels available to answer. I mean, Radzislav said that in order to maximize the output of the value chains, it is necessary to have a coordination on regional level and innovation and policy alignment. That's obvious. My question is whether this coordination can be also feasible on European scale and not just focusing in specific regions. I cannot see from my limited knowledge a common coordination operating in the whole Europe on forestry issue. What do you think about it? Maybe Ignacio also could give a comment on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You mentioning? Yeah, sorry. Go.
Yeah. I can briefly answer. Yeah, it's important for development of the bioeconomy if there is a clear indication that it is supported and that it is not somehow presented as a problematic sector. So, because there are different policies also at European level related to forest production and forest management and trends. So when we look in the biodiversity strategy, so there are goals to increase protected areas, and when we look also in bioeconomy strategy, so it's also how it should be structured, the use of wood, and there are certain indications also in that recent paper of JRC that there is strong I would say focus on provision of other services from forest, not only wood production, but also this biodiversity protection and so aspects, not only this productive function. So this has to be clearly set up. So it should be clearly set up which areas, what are the specific goals, which areas are managed for which purpose, or what are the limits of management, what is considered to be sustainable production, and so on. So it is about presenting this sector, which is considered as important for transition from fossil-based economies towards economies based on renewable resources, to clearly indicate what are the limits and to attract investment in this sector. Other way it will struggle in certain in uncertainty. So that's the issue, and that's the issue on both national level and European level, according to my
Thank you.
perspective. Yeah.
Alvaro, I don't know if your hand just stay raised from the previous question, or you have a new one. No, okay. Thank you very much. I think we have exceeded the time by 6 minutes. I don't know if probably we should close this webinar now. But okay, thank you very, very much. All our speakers,
everybody,
for the great presentation, for the discussion, for your time. I know that your schedule is very tight. And we will share the link with the recording with you shortly. And thank you very much again, and have a great day. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Valentina. Bye.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a nice day.